What's up, guys? Thanks for visiting. Basically, what I want to do is give you a demonstration of what I found to be the most accurate on executing a mowing and trimming of the lawn. Obviously, this is all just hearsay. I am open to suggestions in the comments. Obviously, everybody's going to have their own opinion, and I'm welcoming that. Now, this is a random address on Google Maps. I added a few things to it, like the shed, the pool, little bean bed, tree, house, bed, deck, driveway, another piece of the lawn over here on the other side of the driveway. Now, if you can't guess the address, I'll tell you what, I'll throw you $5 on Cash App. First things first, when we pull up, everything we do, we want to save time. We would not be wanting to park over here. That way you're driving around the truck or on the neighbor's grass to get the machines in the lawn. We want to pull up to the farthest point. You want to drop the gate, immediately get the machines on the grass. Now when I'm cutting, I like to start from the farthest point from the truck, and that's going to make all of my trips that much simpler. Now because I only had to really come in here for that little bit, I am going to do it while I'm here. Follow this all the way around to the farthest point from the truck. Now we would have to determine how our lines go. I think the simplest lines would be the up-downs, just going up, down, back and forth, but I like to keep everything going the same way, and we're going to make believe that we just cut this up-downs last week. We always want to change the directions of our lines, that way we're not creating any divots in the grass. So I would immediately start my diagonal lines, and this would go all the way until I reach an obstacle, or I could slither in somewhere else like this. Boom. Now, no problem. Typically, we don't want to be driving over the same lines twice. That's a good cardinal rule for cutting grass, but if I'm honest with myself, that happens sometimes, and that's okay. Not going to ruin anything. We're going to continue our diagonals. You'll see we're missing spots, we're missing corners, there's gaps in our turnarounds. That's not a problem. I'll explain why we do that in time. You'll notice I didn't double back up into that corner because we already got in there as good as we're going to get. Everything else will be left up to the string trimmer. Now right here, I already did the perimeter line on that half, so I'm going to double back. I still got to follow this way. Odds are you have a mower with a bagger that hangs off the right hand side of the deck. Probably something like this. You just detach it and dump it in a bucket. Here's the blades under there. So going this way is not an option. The bagger will be in the way. You won't be able to get everything you want to get. So we would have to drive on the same lines. Here though, we can make that sacrifice. Don't got to go up there again. Don't have to go anywhere. We've already been. Like, we definitely want to save our time and keep our lines looking nice. Follow that straight down. Get up in this corner we missed. And follow yourself back to the gate. Now, if you are bagging, you're going to want to take a bag with you. Take a bucket with you. You don't want to get stuck in here with a full bagger. And then what? You're going to drive out and make a mess? Or you're going to walk out and fetch the barrel? No, we're saving time. Bring 2 barrels with you. Don't be a hero. Leave them both at the gate. That way you can easily follow your perimeter line if you do have to dump, or the way we're doing our lines, you're probably going to have to dump midway anyway. So dump the barrels. You're already up here with the mower, so we would just continue our lines up here. Diagonals. We want the longest lines that we can form. This will save us the most amount of time. Now when I'm on a garden bed like this, I'll typically ignore it, and I won't do the perimeter yet, and I'll show you why in a few. I like to do it on the final line. The very last line, I'll go and do my perimeter. That way it covers up all my little turnarounds. And because if you mow, you know, every time you turn the machine around like this, the grass underneath the tires and also the bending from the suction, you're going to be able to see it clear as day. That's why we always save the perimeter. We give it one last perimeter cut all the way around the edge right at the end, just to cover up all those lines. But this, we won't be doing it again. We won't have a chance to really get in there and do it again. That's why we do it when we're on our final line. We'll hop in there and do that perimeter. because we don't want to go back in there again. We don't want to drive over the same lines twice. We continue our diagonals right around the tree. When it comes down to the trees, what I like to do is just continue. You're going to have a bagger on your right-hand side, so this side won't really get, you're not going to get as close as this side as you could with this side without the bagger. But we'll worry about that when we turn around on our next line. So now, the bagger's on this side. So what we're going to do is hug it up nice and close. Get that area we missed. We're going to keep doing our line. We're going to turn around. And now the bagger's on this side. So now we can hug this side and get up real close. Save the trimmer. We don't want to bust his balls. He doesn't want to be out there sweating all day. Nobody does. Now, when it comes to, there's not really any good examples. I guess we could use this as an example. You don't really want to get yourself into somewhere with the mower where it's kind of difficult to get out. You know, you bump into this pool, you're going to have a huge bill on your hand. So don't be a hero. Save some stuff for the string trimmer. It's his job to get up in there, and we're going to cover that on the next one. So we would wrap up our diagonal lines. Again, the bag's going to be, we're going to be going clockwise. Because, I mean, personally, our bag hangs over the right-hand side. If you're using a walker, it hangs over the back, and you gotta, we'll go over that in a different episode. But actually, no, we won't. The walker, it like hangs maybe 3 feet behind you. So when you take that turn, you have that big ass is swinging around. So you don't want to bump into the side of the house. You'll rip a gutter off. You'll puncture the pool. You'll break a fence. You got to be cautious of, you know, the machines that you're using. They're not cheap and they are not light. All right, this one's easy. Perimeter line. Saving a little bit for the trimmer. Bing, bang. Right here, I wanted to specify. Typically, I know all of our lines are diagonal, but I said it multiple times. Don't be a hero. Also, the perimeter line, not really gonna need it. You're following the perimeter on both sides already. Now, I'm not gonna say if, because changing directions is a must. If you don't change directions, you will get trenches. So when you do try to change the lines, it'll feel like you're driving over train tracks. Every little bump, you'll feel it. Do, 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 do. Now, the way to do this is the bare minimum. I'm not going to do 45 lines, little lines like this, when I could do 3 like this. What I will do is I'll stretch it corner to corner, literally as far as I can. And then I'll maybe 1 or 2 more down here, maybe 1 or 2 more up here. And that's it. We don't want to be a hero. We don't want to, you know, make 45 lines on this guy's. We don't want that. They're never going to come outside and pat you on the back and tell you how good this shit looks. Just don't be a hero. Do the long lines. Do the long lines. Dump your stuff, and I will see you on the string trimming.